Welcome to Colts Beer, the podcast where football fever meets cold beer. Here we talk all things Indianapolis Colts, from epic touchdowns to close games to the hottest NFL rumors. Sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and let's tackle the next quarter together. Go Colts!
Well, welcome everyone to second episode of Colts Beer. We are back. Today we have a very special guest, Clyde from the Anvil crew from the Sick podcast. They are probably the guys why we want to start that. So we are very happy to have you here, Clyde. I'm going to show you my beer of the day. It's a Pilsner Urquell. It's a Jack one. It's nice and smooth. Yeah, give it a try. And while I'm drinking, Clyde, you may introduce yourself.
First off, thank you guys for having me. I do not have a beer in my hand. Here it's around lunchtime and I haven't eaten yet, so my apologies. I should fall in line. Colts beer is the deal. So hopefully next time I will have one. But no, I'd like to thank you guys for having me. I like I said, I think I've definitely met Christoph, met Sam. Haven't met you in person yet, Andres, but I cannot wait to see you all guys in Berlin. It's going to be a grand time. I mean, we got some stuff to talk about. Kind of changes the outcome, or I mean, it's the vibe of that game before we get there. But it's all good. We're still Colts fans at the heart. Maybe not what we wanted, but we'll deal with it. So again, thank you for having me. Shout out to you guys on your second episode. Keep going. Do great things in Colts UK.
Thanks, Clyde, man. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to be here. Maybe my beer of the day is Hochdorfer Helles from my friend Marcel. He gave it to me as a really nice beer. You can drink much of it, but it's really nice. In Indy, you know Marcel. After 5 of it, you have no filter like Marcel. That is working.
Yeah, you got to put Marcel in a box after he gets a couple. He gets a little wild.
Yeah.
For me today, I've got a Cornish cider Rattler. It's stronger than the normal ciders I drink because I feel like I need it today after the last couple of hours we've had.
Oh man.
I mean, we might as well just jump straight into it.
Yes, sir.
QB1. How do we feel?
We're going to talk about the last few hours. So, of course, all our phones explode during the last 2 hours. How do we feel?
1 second, fellas. Actually, I have a beer that's arriving. Thank you, wife. She got Lion Kugel Summer Sandy. So there you go. You know, keep it real basic, real straight to the point, but it gets the job done. So I'll be drinking that.
Perfect.
There we go. Okay, how do we feel about Danny? Let's see, man. I guess I'll say this. I've had a chance to think about it. I've been in some Colts spaces. You know, people are kind of, as they say now, the new term is crashing out. They're kind of losing their stuff right now. But I would say if you had a chance to kind of think about it and kind of put your emotions to the side, maybe this is the great reset. And what I mean by that is I feel like the rollout for Anthony was completely mishandled, almost negligent. We seen what he did in the combine and everyone got, incredibly excited, and it was just like, man, we don't want to wait. We want to see this. And, the injuries happened and the bad play happened and so on and so forth. And now here we are 3 years into it and we're kind of like, oh man, do we have anything? But now I feel like they finally bring in someone who has a comparable ability to run this offense and doesn't completely remove certain pieces. Like last year, you can't run an RPO with Flacco. But what I'm saying with Danny, you can still be, a decent offense. We know what he is. He's kind of a conservative guy. Dink dunk here and there, take a shot, but dink dunk, get the completion percentage up. So Anthony gets to watch that, right? And so I think that also the entire summer he loses weight. He shows that he's able to put in the work. He's changing his work ethic, if you will, because that was a question last year. And so I think the question answered this summer was, do you want to be in the NFL? Do you want to be a quarterback? Okay, check. But now, with all the talent and all the potential in the world, like that young kid that's in high school that is ready for varsity, but not quite, we're going to sit and let you watch someone experience. And then next year, we'll see. That keeps us still in this weird purgatory as fans and the unknown of, okay, great quarterback class next year. Are we going to completely just put that to the side and say we got our guy and then we miss out on another guy? Who knows? But I mean, at this point, of course, no one's going to wish harm on Danny. He's our quarterback, but Shane made it clear, unless something happens, i.e. injury, he doesn't want to have a short leash on Danny. So I don't know. A lot of people think the ship has sailed. I don't think so. I think he just sits back and watch. Carly has said it. Of course, Ballard has said it. Shane has said it, and now we're seeing it. It's kind of my thoughts, boys.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm going to stay on the positive side of things, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, basically since Richardson hurt his pinky against the Ravens, that if we jumped in and started Richardson now, and by week 6 we're 2-4, 1-5, something like that, they're going to bench him again. And then if you actively bench him in the season twice, like that's it, he's done. Like he's finished in Indy. He may go somewhere else and play well, but he's finished in Indy. This way, if Danny Dimes comes in and I know they said he's not got a short leash, but let's face it, Shane and Ballard are on very hot seats right now, so they need to win. So if we go 1-5, 2-4 with Danny Dimes, and they have to go, hey, let's get AR in, let's bring in the hero. I feel like it's a better journey for him as a Colt potentially this season than what could have happened. That's me staying positive.
There's another side, right?
Flying around, but I'll let the guys jump in with their thoughts.
For me, it's I just can't be positive at the moment. Of course, I want the best for the franchise. I want the best for the Colts. I hope Daniel Jones will play like this one game in Minnesota every game this year. But I just don't see it. I can't see him bringing out more than another 9-8 season with missing the playoffs shortly and picking again at 15 and probably the year after that picking again at 15 and going to be Pittsburgh Steelers 2.0. For me it's I'm just kind of depressed right now. I really hoped they will decide for Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, with going with Danny, I assume Shane is kind of going back to what you have with Minshew. He had that kind of dink and dunk guy that, your completion percentage, you were maybe getting 5 yards here, 5 yards there, but he was efficient. And what we were a Tyler Goodson catch away from the playoffs that season.
For me,
I guess that's what he's thinking. He's like Minshew 2.0 sort of thing. Like he can function in this office. He can get us to the playoffs.
So for me, is Danny Dimes really better than Minshew? And I think after I read all the feedbacks on the training camp at the games, for me, Richardson has stepped up with his accuracy. Is nice, it's good, but his reads in the whole games was first target, goes out, perfect throw, nice. If he needs to search the second target, he wasn't struggling. So that is for me the reason why you say, okay, we go with Danny Dimes. He can read the games, and Anthony Richardson needs time to learn reads. So the whole time I see Richardson, first target, nice, it was fast, it was beautiful. So he needed the second target, and it looks like horrible. So that is my problem with Richardson. He has a really nice body. He is fast. He is strong. He can throw, but the reads. And I think the problem for Ballard and Steichen is the problem. They're hot seats. They know if they go 10-7 or better, they are out. So you can go with Anthony Richardson. You hope he can read, or you go with the guy who can bring you the 10-7, and you can say, hey, we have the playoffs. That is the only chance we have to save the jobs. So that's my thinking about it.
Yeah, I did feel like it was
Sam,
kind of selfish too. Like and you hit it on the head, man. Like I feel like this is the best team they think they have assembled. Defense wise, you got new energy there with Lou. We already seen in the first 2 preseason games, he's doing stuff that we've never seen from like Colts defenses, 5-man bear fronts, blitzing guys, all type of things. Now we're beat up, I get that, but again, on both sides of the ball, this is probably the strongest this team has been underneath Chris Ballard, and you bring in a guy that they think is capable, even though we're looking back a few seasons, and they say, "Hey, you know what I mean? Like we don't have to change the offense, you know." But I do. This is the thing that we're not being honest about. If we're going to talk about how efficient Danny is, and it's not us, so I'm just saying in general, we got to also talk about where he's not that great. And I feel like the key to beating the Colts this year, if he's going to be your starting guy, heat him up. Once you heat Danny Jones up, he gets hit a couple times. He's not going to escape the pocket like he needs to. Then you'll see, oh, okay. AR wasn't hitting the short reads, but at least he was getting out of the pocket and trying to make a play versus just falling down, taking a sack, and we punt. I think that's what you're going to see a lot of. I really do. They're just going to blitz us from every angle.
Especially start of the season, I think Gonçalves has shown that he's looked okay in preseason, but he's struggled a little bit, especially with blitzes, stunts. He seems to be struggling with. I think it was this week he just completely let one go, just completely right through the middle.
Mhm.
So yeah, like you said, with AR, that could be a missed tackle. That's not a guaranteed sack. With Danny back there, you know, that's a sack, and you're already second and 15, second and 17. So
talked about probably having Anthony for next season sitting behind Daniel Jones and learn. If I would be in that position, I would already have requested the trades immediately after Daniel Jones is named as starter. If I would be Anthony Richardson, do you think he still will be with the Colts next year?
Yes. I do. Even if there is a whole new regime change, I do.
Because I mean, if we're looking at it right now, you've just named the guy that lost his job to Tommy DeVito as someone better. So, what would we trade him for? What like it's not worth taking a 6th round for him. He might as well sit for 2 years and then after next season goes free agent somewhere else. But I think whatever happens.
But some of the franchises are thinking maybe it's the wrong coach for Anthony Richardson. The Rams are interested last year in Richardson trading. Maybe McVay says, "Hey, I can bring him to a big player." So then you give us a 4th round or 3rd round pick for him. So and if you get the offer, let him go. Because I think he's in this team, in this locker room. He is not a starter against Daniel Jones. He can come back. Because the whole team says, yeah, Danny Dimes is better than you, and he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. So maybe this is a possible thinking.
I mean,
I think that's the force, though. Oh, my bad, Sam. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just going to say that everything I've heard from the team this year is they still seem to be right behind AR. Like, they do still seem. I mean, Q sounds like he's been hitting the drum for AR every time he's been in front of the media. So I don't know whether there would be that element of it. There might be a personal element from AR where it's like, these guys don't trust me. Like, why do I want to play for this team? So I'd understand if he's thinking I want to trade. I don't think he's not going to get a trade this year. That ain't going to happen. Maybe off season. I don't know. Who knows? But I mean, Carly might be looking at this and thinking, if Shane's not the coach for him, maybe someone is next year. Like,
yeah,
there's they need a playoff win basically. I think for either of them to survive this year. Like 9-8 is not going to cut it.
Yep, and I think that this is not on the team from I don't feel like the team is saying, yeah, Danny gives us a better chance. I think the team just doesn't want to go through what they went through last year, the unknown. So if you're going to mark this guy as our guy, sure, we're all going to play football, we're all going to get behind him, but then you're taking all of you're going to take the blunt of this. You know what I mean? Talking about Shane and Chris, if this doesn't work out. It's not going to be like the locker room fell apart or there's some kind of weird divide, like half of it's over here, half of it's over there. We're going to see in the play. And then from there, decisions will be having to be made because we know there's a lot of pride here. And I feel like that's the thing. So I don't see him getting traded. This is why, at least not while this regime is still here, because then no way would they want to see it, in person. Like, does this kid work somewhere else and we couldn't do it? Like, if everybody gets fired and now it's a fire sale, then for sure. But I just don't see them trading him, and then he has an opportunity just to get a lucky chance to play somewhere because of injury or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Anthony Richardson is the talk of the NFL, and we're stuck with Danny Dimes and Riley Leonard, and like, what did we do wrong type thing. So yeah, he definitely doesn't get. I ain't gonna say definitely. I don't want to speak with a broad brush, but I feel like he shouldn't get traded this year until there's a determination of what the next regime looks like.
Yeah, and I mean, I think on the like purgatory side of things, let's say we do end up 9-8, that'll be a regime change. Shane will be gone, Ballard will be gone, and then obviously QB draft is decent next season. There's nothing to say that we don't go uber aggressive under a new GM. You got new owners, new GM. There's nothing to say that you don't go and trade up for someone. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to actually be picking 14th, 15th if we do end up going the Colts typical 9-8.
Yeah, we're definitely not a bottom tier squad. I'm not saying this team is like so good that we can overcome everything, but like we're just not in the basement. You know what I mean? So I feel like, because we've talked about this ad nauseum on our podcast, like if we get a defensive stop here or there over the last couple of years, like we're in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, like meaning like for a lot of games when we were 8-7, or no, I'm sorry, 9-8 one year, 8-9 last year. But I'm like, you can go back and watch these games. You're like, man, we could have won that. And you're like, dang, the Colts could have won 11 games. Like we really could have won 11. Like it's crazy how close it is. And so yeah, I don't know.
Like last season, Broncos game? If JT doesn't drop that ball at the 1 yard line. Yeah, who knows where that season ends up?
Right. And I mean, even the year, so you can go back to the Carson Wentz year, which is before we even had the opportunity to draft Anthony. Like we had everything lined up for 3 straight weeks. Drop the ball. Yeah. I'm saying the Raiders, or 2 straight weeks. Raiders and then the Jags, like dropped it both weeks. Insane. So just that type of thing, man. And I feel like that's what Danny Dimes starting is giving them more assurance of, not saying that he's going to do it himself, but the totality of the team, right? Like we have a better defense. It's going to be more aggressive. We have proven pass catchers that we believe in. We draft a stud in Tyler Warren. We have a great running back. You know what I mean? And now we just need a guy to be complimentary football and do enough to make sure we get over those tough losses. And I feel like they just have more confidence in Danny right now. That's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, the way I read everything that's coming out of Shane and all the media that are covering it is this is more about the operation of the offense as opposed to a talent. I think everyone can see on a talent level, AR, the ceiling is so much higher than Danny, you couldn't compare it. But it's like Christoph mentioned, it's the reads, it's calling out protections. That seems to be the only reason that's holding him back. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm downbeat. I would have rather it be AR as a fan as well. Like, I mean, Danny Dimes isn't exactly the most exciting quarterback to go and watch every week, but
yeah, no kidding. And to be honest, man, like keep it 100%, truth to the matter. And I'm not even saying they're cooking all this up, but like even coming into next off season, like as soon as you start to really get into like, okay, pre-draft stuff, whatever, he'll be 24 years old. Like what? I mean, that's still younger than like some of the kids coming out next year. He's still younger than guys that have been in the league now going into their second year, like, or even third year sometime. And it's like, this is scary to think that he would just now be like a true, like, okay, he's a senior, maybe he redshirted, he's coming out. And boom, he still has, if it works out, 10 to 15 years of play. That's crazy. So I think that is the other kind of safety net that you have, that we're not talking about a guy that we're unsure about and like, man, he's an older guy. He turns 26, 27 this year.
Yeah.
He's 23. So yeah, it's kind of wild, man. Crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Will
mean-
it be good enough season for especially for Shane and Chris if he gets somehow into the playoffs, probably get a dirty wildcard round win? Will they keep their jobs with a season like that, or do they need much more to save their jobs? Do they need a great season?
That's tough.
I'm not sure about that.
And it's tough because of a couple of reasons. I'm not saying any of these guys are beating the table to request trades, but like, gotta think about the age of the squad. You got your Defoe who's already north of 30. You got Kenny who's 30. You have Zaire that's gonna be pushing 30. You're gonna have Quentin Nelson, he's like 28, 29. And it's like Mooney, he's already over 30. Cam Bynum will be close to 30. So like, what are you gonna do with these guys? Because if you're not showing that, hey, we're now kind of entering like, no, like we're a contender, right? Like we're going to contend for the AFC every year. If you're not saying that, and this season, I know that's a huge, huge mountain to climb, but if you're not even close to that, you got to start seeing what can we get for these guys? What can we bring back in the fold? And are we going to now really look at reshuffling, this whole squad and kind of starting over? So yeah, I feel like they have to have a phenomenal season. And I don't even know how to describe Andres really, like, because of course we're not Super Bowl bound and we're probably not AFC Championship bound, but to scare one of the contenders would be a great season. Let's say we went toe to toe with Buffalo or Baltimore and just lost a tough game in the divisional. Maybe there's something to say about that, but if we just go wild card and get bounced, yeah, everybody's out of there.
Yeah, I think I feel like Shane's leash is probably a little bit longer than Ballard's. I think Ballard is gone if it's not like Clyde just said. If we're not challenging, not necessarily beating the Bills or the Ravens or the Chiefs, but if we're not actually at least challenging them, I think Ballard is gone. He's had so many years now. He's not going to get another shot at drafting a quarterback. Like, how many shots can one guy get at trying to change the franchise? So I think Shane's got a slightly short leash, but then if a new GM comes in, it's whether he wants to work with or not. He might have his own coach. It's probably harder for Shane to carry on. But yeah, I think you've got to win the AFC South this year. Looking at it,
First, that's the first big thing, because the Texans, for all that they have been over the last couple of years, they haven't dominated us in a way like we used to dominate. When we used to dominate the division, it was like, oh yeah, like you can turn this game off by halftime. You know what I mean? Like we were that good over our division. Like the Texans, like, yeah, they're winning it by a game or two. Sure, you can't take anything from them, but they haven't showed us a 14-3 season or something like, oh man, like they're leaps and bounds beyond us, type thing.
Yeah,
that's number one.
Stroud's second season wasn't obviously as good as his rookie year. Like, I don't think they're unbeatable. I mean, the Jags are the Jags. Every year it feels like they have a good free agency. Like, everyone talks up their chances, and then they're 5 wins every year. Like, that's kind of where they live. The Titans,
they beat up their own quarterback. So yeah, you're like, hey, Jeff Simmons is.
That annoys me with the Titans. Like, you're seeing obviously all the media guys at the moment talking about how we're going to be like maybe 1 or 2 places above the Titans in. Like,
I don't see that.
I'm just like, their roster is so bad. Like, it doesn't really necessarily matter what Ward does this year. I don't see how they can compete at all this year with what they've got across the board.
Yeah. Tajay Spears is hurt too. Yeah, it's just rough down there.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, for me, AFC South win is minimal for Ballard to even think about keeping his job. But really, I think he's got to then win a wild card game.
For me, it's only if they go in the playoffs, they play really good. The weapons is working, the line stays stable, the defense works good. So when you go 10-7 in the playoffs, then it's a question with Ballard open, because if his draft picks are working and it looks really good, the team is growing. So I think he can save his job with this move. And if Ballard goes, Steichen goes with him. He has 3 years, and and there's no growing in the team. That is the same. That is the whole time. You see the same issues. The player don't growing, so that is a problem of the coach, not of the GM. Yeah, Chris Ballard needs to make some nice moves to make the team better. That's right, but Steichen needs to make guys better year for year. So, and in the last couple of years, he's here, and it's the same. The players don't grow. So I talked with Andreas a couple of days before. Maybe he isn't the quarterback and offense genius like we are thinking after the Eagles, because the Eagles playing a big, nice offense the whole day after him. So, and our offense looks like, a small cat with high talent, but no growing. So,
yeah, a lot of
if Ballard is going, Steichen goes with him.
A lot of the chat that's today is about Shane is maybe he just is a good OC, like he's just a good coordinator. He just isn't a coach.
Coordinator, yes, that is like Frank Reich. He was a good coordinator, but not a good head coach.
Yeah.
Two back-to-back guys, man. I feel that way.
Yeah, and we let Sirianni go in between that as well.
And then it's weird because I really think that oh goodness, Chuck was a great head coach with an archaic mind for how he wanted to play defense. But he was a great overall personnel guy. Yeah. And I feel like, you're going to have to like balance that because everybody's looking for the next great thing, Bobby Slowick, Ben Johnson, whoever you want to throw out there. But like what you tend to see, if you don't have the right pieces and the right, I guess the right personnel and management team, you're always going to be locked in on what you know, which is the offensive side of the ball. And then the rest of the team kind of fails because of that. So if we're going to go a new coach, I think we need to think about that and then let the coordinators do whatever. Because everybody talks about Jim Bob, and I'm like, he really is just kind of like de facto. He's just there. Like, he's not really making no calls. Like, yeah, man, this is Shane's offense.
He's like what Frank Reich was to the Eagles head coach.
To the Eagles?
Peterson. Basically the same, like
same
like
thing.
Your personnel and you're just a clipboard holder basically.
And Nick was the same way when he was with us. You know what I mean? Like he was just, hey, I support Frank. Frank's my guy. He gave me this opportunity. I've learned from him. But now you see Nick has a head coaching job and Nick runs his team, right? Like that's just how it works, man. So yeah, like I'm old school, man. Like give me a coach that knows football and then let his coordinators do their jobs. And then you make sure you're managing the entire operation. Because when you're too locked in on one side, man, we see it. And we've seen it back to back with our head coaches.
Yeah.
And unfortunate.
Sure.
I do have a question I want to pose since we're kind of talking about this. And it kind of came up in one of my Twitter spaces that I was listening to while I was working. I was like, that's a great thought. When we lose Andrew Luck, are we, hindsight could maybe like swing us either way, but honestly, do you feel Chris Ballard should have changed his approach? Because what he did was try to build a team without a quarterback, and truly you want to build a team around a quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So looking at that now, was that malpractice?
I think it could definitely be argued that way. Yeah. I mean, I guess that first season, like Luck retired preseason, right? So that would kind of come at him from nowhere. So fine, that first season, do what you got to do. But then, we then went because who came in first season after Luck? Was it Rivers? Rivers was the first one.
It was Rivers.
First year was Brissett, and then comes Rivers. Yeah. 1 year was Brissett our starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jacoby started first, and then
maybe the Rivers experiment actually made it worse. The fact that he got us to the playoffs, and we were a couple of plays here and there away from beating the Bills in that playoff game. Maybe that was worse that happened, because then that kind of gave Ballard the impetus that, hey, all I need is a veteran quarterback that can make plays here and there, and this roster can get me to where I need to go. You almost wish that you'd had Wentz after Brissett and you had the nightmare, and then you could make let's go and just reset everything and blow it all up now.
But isn't that the most positive weird nightmare because for all that season was, when you look back, and I know you can make stats do whatever, and you just look at the numbers. So if you didn't watch football, you're like, why is everybody so down on Wentz? Because he was 63%, he was 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. Now he had some fumbles, 3,700 yards, whatever. Like that would have been like a alternate Pro Bowl year if you're just looking at the numbers. But we know how it played out. You know what I mean? So it's such a weird thing because I'm like, I would take that right now. You know what I mean? It's so crazy.
We're never going to forget him throwing left hand, right? So.
Oh yeah, the left hand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was so many weird spots. The lefty was crazy, man. Oh my god. Woo, Lord. We've been through it.
I mean, Wentz easily could have worked out. I mean, it doesn't work. It was horrible, yeah. But you have to give that credit to Ballard, I think. It easily could have worked. So he took that opportunity with Wentz and tried it. And yeah, after that, he was in a kind of situation. He wasn't able to get a new quarterback, a young quarterback. But at least he tried it once to get a young, promising quarterback to that team.
You talking Wentz when he went for Wentz? Because yeah, Wentz was still he was like 26 or something when he came here. Yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
So and you need to think about Ballard was working with Frank Reich. All of these quarterbacks was guys who Frank Reich says, I need this guy, he makes it. He said this on Rivers, he said it on Wentz, he said it on Matt Ryan. So the whole time he was talking about this our guy, this our guy, this our guy. So and I know some guys around the Colts corner, you know them too, Clyde. Chris Ballard hasn't the chance because the Hasty goes to the owner and says, hey, I need Carson Wentz. I go to the Super Bowl with him. So the owner says, yeah, nice, go. So, and Chris Ballard says, yeah, okay. So, and then the next step, you get after Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, because Frank Reich is calling after the training camp, hey, our line is the best. We have the best team. We are in the playoffs. Matt Ryan brings us the Super Bowl. And the same, Jim Irsay says, in the next 10 years, we win 2 Super Bowls. So I never forget this word. So, and you stay there after 4 years and says, okay, maybe it's not Chris Ballard because the team is okay. We have some pieces, the weapons are better, the line are better, the defense are better, and he has begin with a roster. Andrew Luck was the only guy with TY what was good. The rest was like, oh God. So maybe it's not alone Ballard, it is the head coach. And sometimes that is what I call about Ballard is he needs to say, head coach, shut up. I'm the boss. I told you, that's my guy. Not, hey, make what you want. So that is a little bit the problem for me with him.
I call that the class of professionalism. And what I mean by that is, you know, like a lot of times you look at how things kind of like play out. And the thing that has hurt Chris Ballard, in my opinion, is like, he believes in his philosophy, you know, very strongly, and he's super loyal. I mean, I don't think that you have to bash anybody and like, you know, kick them out of town and curse them out and things like that. But you should have known after a year and maybe the first half of that second year of Gus Bradley, this doesn't work for a lot of reasons. Like, we're not aggressive as a defense. We don't play any type of physicality, and we're literally just letting quarterbacks and whoever else, running backs and anybody, just come in here and do what they want. So even though I have respect for Gus Bradley, you're fired. Right. You have to be a man about your job when you're sitting in certain seats. You know, you see that with Howie Roseman. You see that with Les Snead out in LA. Like, these guys say, yep, this doesn't work. Hey, yeah, you can blame me. I brought this person in, but you know what? I'm going to get somebody who can get the job done. And so for that, I feel like he has to take his own onus. And that has been a major problem because he'll just sit and watch. And it's almost like, you know, you don't have anything in this room. Years, cornerback room. You have nothing in this room. And every year you're doing nothing to improve that. So even when you talk about the quarterback, I say, despite where we were picking, you kind of look and you're like, who's valuable on our roster, who can go, who can't. Okay, we're not going to get rid of Quentin. Cool. When we had Shaq, he's top of his game. We're not going to get rid of him. Cool. But who can we trade? We can trade this guy. Let's do it. Let's make some phone calls. Let's see if we can move up. Let's go get a guy. Because no way we're going to sit back here and keep bringing in the likes of, we're going to get behind Jacoby Brissett. Love the guy, great human, not an NFL quarterback. You just can't keep doing that at every different, and you can look at that in many different rooms, on his roster. You're like, man, you neglected this for years. And now the guys that you have that are all pros and great, Quentin, Defoe, Shaq's out the league, you have in a lot of ways wasted their talent for your team because they've been awesome as individual players, but it hasn't contributed to a team success like the days of Peyton Manning. And that's the part that hurts more than just losing, because these are going to be all-time greats. Quentin Nelson will be an all-time great, and he might have only won one playoff game in his whole time. Sorry, man. It's so sad. It's sad. It's so sad, man. So that's where I am with this whole thing, man. It's year 9. And honestly, you have a losing record. No one that's unheard of. And in today's modern game, to have that long and you have a losing record and you're still employed is insane. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. No division titles either, boys. Put that in there. None. Not a single for 9 seasons now. And don't get me wrong, I haven't had an opportunity to talk to Chris Ballard multiple times. He's a great guy. We love him. I thank him for everything he's done for us. But when we're just looking at the business side of things, and by no means am I in a position to fire him or saying take his job, but it's just like that wouldn't happen anywhere else.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, regular life. Like if you're not getting your job done and wherever you work, they're not going to keep you employed. It's just not going to happen.
And for me, it's the same thing every year as well. It's not like he's tried loads of new things year and year and it hasn't worked. He's just done the same thing every year.
Hang his hat on it.
That veteran quarterback, like Christoph said, head coaches have been in his ears, but he still listens to them. He's in the position to say, you know what, no. Like Matt Ryan, no, no.
Atlanta let him go for a reason, right? Like, we should get on board with that.
I feel like we might be sitting here next year going, the Giants let Danny Dimes go for a reason. But
exactly, like, what are we doing? And Minnesota was like, yeah, I mean, we're not even going to bring Darnold back, and we're cool letting Danny go too. We got JJ coming back, and we'll find somebody to back him up. Like, that's crazy to think, right? Like, this is a telltale thing. Like, this is not, you know what I'm saying? People's not making this up, and nobody just has, hatred for these guys. We're like, but they have not performed. Just have not. So
what I do think is that this year does feel like there's a finality to it. I felt like the last few seasons, I didn't see Ballard getting fired. I just kept seeing him manic. But I feel like now, things are different. I think Carly and the ladies are gonna call it how they see it. And I think they're gonna get rid of him if it's not a good season. I think he's gone. There's no like, oh, maybe next year. Like this is it,
right? Because it's the same thing that he inherited, right? Like, okay. Andrew Luck's kind of retired on you. Oh man, what am I going to do? So in this case, and I hate to use it as in the same light, but like, Big Jim passed away. So by no means are you going to try to reroute the team. Going through that, you guys just took over. Hey, we need to learn what it's like to have a full year of like, we are the face of the franchise now, no longer our dad. We already have somebody's in place. We kind of have a respectable operation to an extent. So let's just see what happens. But yeah, like after that, there's no time like the present. Like this is our team now. Which direction do we want to go in and go? So yeah, you're right, Sam. I feel like if this is another mediocre season, there's no reason to keep dragging this on. Chris Ballard was their father's guy. And I feel like they'll go out and find their own. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I see it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Hey, of both of them. It seems like Charlie is not fucking around. She's doing great business.
She's so serious, bro.
That doesn't work out. She will fire them. No, yeah.
If you haven't seen it, and I'm sure you guys have, you football fans, but she reminds me of Cameron Diaz from Any Given Sunday. I've been saying that since I even knew that she was going to be the next in line. I'm telling you, She is a football mind. Let's not even look at her as a woman and be like, oh, what? No, damn that. She got the headset. She understands operation, and she's going to be fierce. And I'm telling you, when she really starts to like stretch her arms, if you will, we're going to see the same thing we've seen in that movie. This is what I want. Make it happen, or people will be fired.
That's what we need, though. We need that. We need that.
We do. Yeah, Jim was a man of the people, and that's so awesome. He does so much for the community, and that's great. But his heart sometimes was way too. You could tell like he just loved people, and that's great. But a lot of times that's not going to get you to the end result. Sometimes you got to be a little cutthroat. You got to have a little Jerry Jones in you, if you will. You know what I mean? Not too much, but a little bit.
With the hires, like with Frank, Chuck, like you can tell that they're like they're good guys, and they're Jim Irsay guys, right? So there's that element to it, but I think Charlie's going to put that stamp on it, and I mean it could even be mid-season, to be honest, depending on how it goes. It wouldn't surprise
you. Can see it, man. She's been on the sideline now for what, 4 years, something like that, 3-4 years. Like she knows what's happening, and I think a lot of times that makes maybe the coaches uncomfortable. Yeah, because she's like asking questions mid-game, like tapping on shoulders, like it's crazy. like what was that? What was that? You're like, what is going on?
Hey, Clyde. And you can feel it in her interviews the whole time. She is really strong. The choice of the quarterback, I don't need his seat. This is a shit seat. You can choose Danny Dimes. You can choose Anthony Richardson. It is hard, but it's his job. Yeah. So and you can feel you need to do your job, or you can go. I like it. It is a little bit better than Jim.
Yeah.
Hey, Clyde, how do you feel Lucas Oil is going to be week 1 with Danny Dimes running out?
Man, we talked about that in the space too. So we're going to have to be very, very professional on that day as fans, because we know what that day is. It's the opening of the season. Cool. Maybe the fan base isn't happy about Danny, but that day is more about Jim. They have a whole thing planned for him and all that. So yeah, it's okay. Express your emotions, do whatever, but be a fan first. And so for that, because we've shown that we can be ugly, I'm not sure, man. Like, you know what happened with Andrew Luck when he retired, the boos, and then like, I don't know, man. So, and it's crazy because it's the start of the season, and yeah, maybe we don't have the optimism that we should because the guy that we mostly wanted to see won't be out there. But it tests your loyalty to the squad. Are you a Colts fan first, or are you just, like, I am an Anthony Richardson guy, then a Colts fan? And I think we're all Colts fans first. So
exactly. We were Colts fans before saying we were Colts fans before. Exactly. So at the end, and the thing I'll say about Danny Dimes is, like, fans have got to realize this ain't on him. Like, he's just there. He's doing.
Yeah, he's just there.
You can't boo the guy. He's not even thrown a pass yet. Like, let him at least play a game, and then maybe just get into it. But
social media has been rough, man. Like they've been calling Shane a terrorist. They've been like, it's crazy out there right now. It's crazy.
I saw a tweet saying they hope Danny Dimes tears both his ACLs in the first snap.
Like who says that? Like, that's insane, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's wild, man. Like I love football season. I love my team, but for many years, my wife will tell you, I definitely wore that on my sleeve. Like my whole week used to be wrecked. But and back then, I really think it was because being a Peyton Manning fan and a Colts fan and always having to like defend him, right? Like, oh, but he's no Tom Brady, and look at like it just came with the territory. And so I had to, once he left, and I was like, you know what, I have to reset as a fan, because that was strenuous. That was hard. Like, just always like, I'm so upset that we lost the game. I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, my week might probably be better, but it's not the end of the world. So now I'm a fan that understands that no matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter how I feel, me not making those decisions. So support and, express your opinion and then move on. So that's where I am, Sam. I can't do it no more. I can't stress out. I'm not trying to get grayer. I'm not trying to lose my hair. I just can't do it.
Man. I love it. We had Manning and Brady conversations. Then we had Luck and Russell Wilson conversations.
Yeah, man, it was bad.
I just want to be a fan. I just want to be a Colts fan.
And I was in the military too, so like it's different in the military because you're getting it from everywhere. Like when you live in a city and stuff, you know, like you're kind of protected, right? Like, all right, we're all. If I lived in Indy, you know, like where I grew up, like we're all Indy Colts fans, and we could talk about it, but nobody's really throwing that salt at you all the time. But being stationed all over the world and everywhere, I was like, bro, I'm tired of here. Like I just couldn't take it, man. It was so bad. So I'm glad I don't have to deal with that no more. But Peyton Manning's still the GOAT. I don't care if he only has 2 Super Bowls. He's still the GOAT.
So,
Yeah, man. Good stuff, fellas. Good stuff.
what moving away from the quarterback? Obviously, we got roster cut down day. I think it's next week. I think it's Tuesday next week, down to 53. I think there's some really obvious ones. The guys are going to be there. I think for me, I don't know about you guys. I think Riley Leonard will be a QB3. I think they'll carry 3 quarterbacks, right? I don't think they'll risk him on waivers.
Yeah, you have to if you're going to put Anthony as your definite 2, and he has an injury asterisk above him. You got to have a third. But yeah, you've seen for years. You know, what I mean, the Colts only carry 2. For years, it was whoever starting in Ellinger. You know what I mean, or wherever it was. I don't know. Like I know it's crazy. It was kind of malpractice, man. I don't know, but yeah, like I definitely think we keep 3. But the heavy rooms are going to stay heavy. O line, D line are going to stay heavy. So there's going to be cuts in other places. I think you have to look at what you're going to do in the secondary. I mean, you got Nick Cross, you got Cam Bynum. Yeah. Do you go look at Justin Simmons? I don't know. Like, but you got to bring somebody else back there. I like the kid. I've talked to him, but listen, I don't care what you say. Rodney Thomas is not. No, I can't.
You are pretty.
I don't want to see that. Finally got to see Daniel Scott. I don't know if he showed us enough, but that's 2 years of major injury, and now we finally get to see the guy that they were high on, 3 years ago when they drafted him. I don't know if that's who you run out there either. You know what I mean? So
no, I think he might make the roster for special teams.
Yeah,
Scott. But I think somebody in the UK group said Von Bell, free agent, makes sense.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
makes sense for Lou. Makes sense for Lou.
Like you said, Rodney Thomas can't be he is now. Since the Waller injury, he is next man up now for so that
we can't do that, man. It can't be that. And then and then we're taking a risk too. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andres. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just on Saturday. Lemons played awesome. Did he earn his roster spot with this one game?
I don't like that one either, man. Because he's like Spencer Schrader a year ago. Sign him, cut him. Sign him, cut him. Like, and I get it. Like he has some ability. But we also got to be humble. Like he was out there with guys that were in his caliber, 2s, 3s, some 4s. And I'm not trying to, any guy that plays in the NFL is much better than I ever played at my greatest. So no means I'm not taking a shot. But when we think about we need corners and that room is already like devastated, I don't say, oh, Chris Lemons though. Nah. Nah. So I'm hoping that Xavier has something left. I'm hoping that we get good news that at least one of the 2, Jones or Brents, is able to kind of get back off of the hurt thing, because it's kind of scary. It's Mooney and then who? You know what I mean? So
I think Lemons might make it depending on what Kenny's status is. Obviously, he's been out too. I don't know how bad that is, but if Kenny's out, then Lemons probably has to make the roster, I guess, initially, unless we go outside and get someone.
I'm on the page of the Colts. The current is Lemons at the 4th in depth chart.
He's 4th? Oh, God.
He was first, then Alex Johnson, then Darius Tennyson. So I think Lemons has in the chains. So, and Daniel Scott is 2nd strong safety listed.
Yeah, I think that's for this coming up game. And yeah, I get it. I understand it. Like, see what these guys can do for you. But again, I hate to say this, our GM is not in a position where I like my guys is going to fly. Like, you're going to have to make plays out here. And we've seen that you haven't made plays. In the first year that you bring in a DC that's showing that, hey, I'm aggressive, I want to do things, you have to complement that. So when guys go down, I love the Justin Wiley pick. I would have loved even more. I would have loved even more the Will Johnson pick, but whatever. But anyway, so now Justin Wiley was going to play in many different ways. He could have potentially been number 2, or he definitely was going to be, a slot, kind of like give Kenny a breather. So we lose that. Like, yeah, you can't go in there haphazard now and be like, okay, well, just because we lost our guy, we can feel that with anybody. That would be more of the same. You know what I mean? So we got to go out there, see what's out there, and make that play, because like if they're really in on this season, like we've discussed at the top of the show, then that's not just Danny Dimes. That's saying like when there's a hole, I'm going to fill it, because my job is either on the line or it's not. And so if we're acting like it's on the line because we're starting Daniel Jones, then it better be on the line when you see the defense is struggling too. You see what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where I am with this.
Yeah. What do you guys tight end? Who do you think makes the roster tight end?
Oh, I couldn't hear you saying. What was that?
Who do you think will make the roster at tight end? Obviously, you got, Warren makes it, Ogletree, Mo probably make it, maybe them 3, and then it's, do you carry 5? Probably not. You probably have to carry 4 to allow for the offensive line, defensive line.
I think Jelani's gone, bro, and I had a lot of hope for him. He just haven't had a chance to really crack a meaningful lineup. You know what I mean? And then, we know what he did last week at the end of the game, and I think he got robbed or whatever. That's cool. But, yeah, he just never really seemed to crack like, Jelani Woods is having a great summer, and we've seen him running with the 1s. We've seen him with the 2. He's always been a 3-4 guy the whole summer. So, and I think they like Will Mallory better, honestly.
But he's listed at 5th position at the Titans.
There you go, Christoph. So there it is.
On the way out.
He's on the way out.
I guess because Shane drafted Mallory, right? Mallory was a Shane draft pick.
He was.
Yeah.
I think Jelani was too, right? No?
Who was?
Wait, Jelani wasn't, or was he?
Jelani was 22, I think.
Reich. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Because, he had a solid year. Was that Matt Ryan throwing him the ball then?
Yeah, must have been.
Yeah. It was Matt Ryan.
Yeah, because he's missed the last 2 years. This is year 4. Yeah, Yeah, that's right. Yeah, wow.
What do you think about JTT? He is listed at the 3rd defensive end behind Pay and Levis. So you think he can come up to a starter, or he's still a rotation player?
I think they start safe, rotate player, but he's going to take, and I hate this because I'm a Michigan guy, as you can see behind me. He's going to take Quiddy's job sooner than later. And I hate that, not just because of that. I really like Quiddy, but then OSU versus Michigan, that plays into that too. I'm just kidding. No, you gotta do what's best for the team. But and that's why I was kind of thinking. I was like, how serious are we about potential the Hendrickson thing? Because would they bite with like, hey, we'll give you Quiddy and some other things, or because they really said the player didn't have to be like a marquee guy. They just wanted like a young player. Well, Quiddy's 25 or 26 or something. I don't know. But I was like, I don't know. I don't think they'll bite on that. Quiddy's been solid, but he's not. His best sack year is 6.5, 7.
Yeah. He's great. Like he's good. Like if you have the 15 sack guy on the other side, then he's great to have. You're only getting maybe 9-10 that we've had.
I was sending Quiddy together with the 1st round pick to Cincinnati for Hendrickson.
But that's the thing. Like I don't think that, and I think that's a Carly play. I don't think Carly allows the 1st round this year because of the unknowns. So if they want a 27-1, sure, let's do John Madden trading, but we can't do the realistic stuff. Yeah, man, no way you give up your 26 pick, even no matter where you land, because like you said, there's things
for him. Really, you don't go for him if you don't think that is our season. That is our all-in move. If you go with Hendrickson, you need to go all in the next 2 years. And with our quarterback situation, the hot seats of GM and head coach, that is a stupid move. If Ballard makes this move, he has to go. Sorry. That is because if you say it's Danny Dimes is the guy, he brings the Super Bowl, okay, try it. Maybe, but not with the 1st pick in this year.
Yeah, I think unless you're a
top 10 pick.
unless you're a team like picking that is going to be picking like 26 and up, so like the Bills and the Ravens, like anyone giving up a first for Hendrickson, that seems like malpractice. Like, yeah, he's a very good player, but you've got to pay him and give up a first. Like,
He's an over the hump guy. Like if you're in that position, then you do it. But no one like us who really needs stuff.
I don't think the Bengals actually think they can get that at all, right? I think
it's the squeeze right now. It's the squeeze right now. Yeah, this is the last bit of the squeeze. I think that when we really get real with it, and they're like, okay, we're stuck. He's definitely not coming off of his number, and we're not going to be able to do nothing. It's going to be something like a 2 and a 4. And it might just be the player. Like, hey, look, we'll give you a trade for 2 and a 4 next year or something like that. And then, of course, you have to make the decision. Okay, now am I going to make him the top paid guy, right? Because that's the other part of the equation. Trade me, sure, but pay me too. You know what I'm saying? And at least a 3-year. What are we looking at, man? Like 3-year with an average of what? 20?
I think he might want higher than that. Might be closer to 30.
Like 25, 26 a year. And he'll be 30. He's already 31, right?
Yeah, I think
31. Close to 31.
Yeah, because his birthday's in December, I think. So I think he's 31.
Yeah,
that's nasty work, man. Like that's the Von Miller deal that he got in Buffalo, which was insane.
Yeah.
They gave him like 6 years worth some ungodly amount. I was like, what? It's like, what am I missing? Don't get me wrong, Von Miller's a great player, but I'm like, at 33 or whatever, 32, you gotta give him that type of money. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, now he's in Washington, so we see that didn't work out. But anyway, I don't know. Super wild.
Game on Saturday. Clyde,
not even turning it on, bro. Nobody's playing worth a dang. I'll find something else to do on a Saturday. Wash my car, boys.
I really like Jason Bean. I tell the other guys all the time he should be our third quarterback, but Riley Leonard will get the job because of the hype around him. And for the last 2 minutes, I was sitting in front of my TV and was like, I told you guys.
He's fun, man.
He's fun to watch. I'll give him that. He's fun.
He's fun, but I don't know. Because remember the same thing. We went through the Ellinger freaking preseasons, and everybody's like, "Oh, give him a shot." And then he had a couple shots in the real season. It was like, is this what you wanted? Little guy out of Texas, little man. Running for his life, man. It was crazy. What a time, man. Like this is, I don't even know how to tell my son about this because every Sunday he's like, Dad, why do you watch the Colts again? Hush, boy. Hush. We were not always like this. He's only 10, so he missed all the good years. You know what I mean?
Get the 2006 year tapes back on.
Yeah, he's like, wow, that was grainy, Pops. I'm like, you know what? You know what, son? I don't know. And when he was younger, he was like 4. He's like, I was like, who's your favorite team? He's just mess with me. He's like, I think I like the Jaguars. I was like, we're going to give you up for adoption. That's what we'll do. And your mom will just have to be okay with that, but we're going to give you up. So yeah, man, he gives me some razz a little bit. And then my older son, he's just off the reservation. He was always a Cam Newton guy. So he was a Panther. I was like, I don't know if you're my children. I don't know what I'm projecting to say hate my team, but I don't like it. So I don't have nobody in this house like helping me, and my wife doesn't watch football. She can care less. So then it's just me, man. It's just me. Just me.
It's a lonely life.
It's a lonely life. Yeah. So me and my podcast buddy. So listen, anytime you guys please invite me back, man. I enjoy podcasting. And I think you guys are gonna be awesome, bro. Like it's a whole new market to tap into. And I was so amazed when I was there in Frankfurt a couple of years ago. And just like, because the story is always like, how did somebody become a Colts fan and you're across the pond? Like, how did that even happen? So just hearing those different like ways and versions that it happened completely different every time you talk to somebody else, it's like, that's so cool. It shows that the game is global, but it also shows that a small market team can still have a huge reach. And that's what's really cool, because most people are like, oh, I like the Cowboys. Well, the whole world likes the Cowboys or whatever, right? But for you guys to be loyal Colts fans, like, I respect that, man. So I support everything you guys are doing. Keep going. Be great, fellas.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. And Clyde, it was really a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you very much to take the time. Christoph, that you took some extra off time at work.
It's all good. I need a break anyway.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I think we are done for the day. Thanks everyone for listening, for watching, and see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.